Mid-afternoon at the moment. I've had a bit of a funny morning, but I've had to crack on from about 11 o'clock onwards. I've had a bit of a tidy up and making a start on the 3 bush grafters, which is 2 Danelaws and 1 Thanelaw. Now the Thanelaw for Ashley has 11 degrees per side, so I'm doing him separate than the 2 Danelaws because they have my own angle on. But I was just looking through my templates in order to mark out, and I just redone a couple, and then of course Duncan, guru that he is, and it mentioned about doing them in stainless, which at the point I'm at now with my models I've sort of settled down, so it is actually, to be quite honest, about the right time I get my templates done out in stainless. Yeah, because I really have now settled down, so good idea Duncan, nice one. But that's what knife makers are generally, they look after each other. So tips wise for me, what I've done is I've set up the grinder, and even though that's a pretty bust up belt, it's still useful for something. It's a phrase I picked up from Gavku and Dell, Redpath Knife and Tools, and that's called knocking off the 90s. Now if you address the blade like this, the first time the blade, where am I looking? Obviously I'm looking through the back. There. Okay, goes to the belt, it's going to hit that hard 90-degree edge, especially that way up, and all it's going to do is knock grit out of the belt. So what I do is, just so it hits the belt this way on, hopefully that's in frame, I'm guessing, yep, and I just run it along a few times and knock that aggressive 90-degree off. It just saves getting a face full of grit. You can still use a half-worn belt, and you're actually coming, it's a bit like using a router when you've got the climb of the bit as it's going along the workpiece. Sometimes it's going along that way, sometimes it's going along the wrong way, and it really bites in. So it's a little bit like that in terms of its theory, but I'm actually coming, as the belt is going that way, it's like coming away from you. You're not smacking the 90 degrees into the grit of the belt. And then obviously what you want is you want the grit to stay in the belt as opposed to getting smashed off, because you're just prematurely ruining your belt. So even though this one's got a bit of a groove because it's been used horizontal, it's more than good enough to knock off the 90s as you're going along that way. So that's the sort of stage I'm at the moment. As I say, I'm doing 2 Danelaws to my super duper angle, and then Ashley's here. There's this Thanelaw, which is the nearest thing I do to a Woodlaw clone, but it is actually a lot larger. This is my mini Thanelaw. In terms of it's pretty close to what a Danelaw, sort of a Woodlaw is. And you just got more handle. The blade's about the same, but it's the handle. For me, those sort of blades are quite petite. That's a wood carver, I know, but a bit better. And so I've got average size hands, so I prefer doing a generous handle, and this one here as a template for a mini Thanelaw can be done, but average man hands, I do it this size. So he's getting 11 per side on a sort of a Scandi, and I've knocked off the 90s on that one. Where's the camera? Not used to this camera thing. There is actually a scored line up through the middle. Once you can see it on the choil. That's the stage I'm at the moment. I'm going to be doing loads of grinding. As I say, I've lost a bit of a march today. I did a bit of a run around first couple of hours, but I've had a bit of a tidy up. I'll catch you on the next one, but that's the stage I'm at the moment. I'm trying to do, instead of a vlog one day, so maybe Wednesday, I'll do an Instagram live. It still counts as the guys sort of challenged me to do some a day in order that people can get an insight into the way I work and you know, my values and my passions, as it were, when it comes to knife making. So I think being it's what's the day today? Lost track. Tuesday today, isn't it? I don't know. But maybe in the next day or two, I'll give you all a shout out, and yeah, I'll do an Instagram live. I'll give you a sort of heads up as it's going. I think I had 10. I think it was 10 popped along, so that's good enough for me. Make a first start on it. So I'll see you on the next one. Just got my Wessex blades out. The camera's pretty clever, but I just never know where the lens is. Anyway, see you on the next one. There you go. See you on the next one. Scuff Wessex blades. Show off to Ashley because it's been so long since I've done a real sort of clone. But that's my Fane lore. I've only done like 4 ever. It's just an opportunity to step into the realms of what most people have to play with. It's quite cool, eh? So, I suppose my shape is slightly deeper than the old wood lore, with more handle. They say it's not just fingers, you also got to get that part of your hand in it as well. And straight away, I filled it up. I'm only 5'8", so my wood lorry clone-y version is slightly larger. Now if you want to do more delicate, there's always sloyd versions, but if I did a sloyd, I'd cut down my puko. Where's my puko? So I've got pukos like that. Obviously full handles, and I can even do a thinner version, so that's a 2.5, and I could sort of puko size it, or I could make it even less depth on the blade, make it sloidy. So there's always options, and you know, the whole design of this was that it's a one shot deal. You got an axe, got a saw, got this. So I don't make very many. But anyway, I just made myself a little stopping block, just for the sake of it. So I've got 2, got a spare. Oh, always get bits on you, don't you? And I've got a bit of a play on the paper. I bet it was folded, so there's 2 bits there. So that's the paper cut, theatrical's done. But the other thing I test it on is a bamboo skewer. Now, these are the things you put through your peppers when you soak them and then put them on a barbecue to cook your things. Now this is the tip I got from Kylie. Knives and stuff. This is someone you need to check out on YouTube. One of the original YouTube knife makers. Now if your thing can whittle away at this quite happily, it's got a pretty good edge, because bamboo is tough, it's fibrous, and the other little thing is if you can cut it on a block. So I'm down here, I'm on my drill exit board, so in the ground. Hear them pinging around. So yeah, bamboo skewer. Have a play, cut through it, and then go. It's a bit like when they bash the edges and stuff. It just gives you a clue that you haven't got a great edge, but it's delicate. You've got a good edge, but it can take. You see where the edge has been. I've took the stropped oil off of there. So there's where the action is seen on the bamboo skewer. just drop it back up again. Cool. So it's on its way, Ashley. It's quite elegant, isn't it? 52-100. Good for curling. Anyway, bit of result that. And is it Richard? Is it Danelaw? Whichever, whose is. And it's GM, is it Greg Martin? Yeah, Greg Martin. So, woodcrafter, tastic, but it's just nice to. I can do woodlord. So there, WD. He's dropped to be Jesus.